the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode 172 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. And, sorry, Brett has started scratching his back with a ruler just as I started talking.
Sorry, that was super itchy.
Unbelievable troll. I'm Sam. I'm not Adam. Adam is unavailable today, so you just got the three of us. I'm joined by Brett the Brain Heenan.
Hello.
And Gorilla John Soon.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
Hi, guys.
Like
John
it.
and Brett here. And we're here today to discuss AEW Revolution 2022. Before we get to that, last podcast, Volume 11 of The Undertaking. Brett, did you listen?
Yeah.
And what was your favourite part?
The bit about The Undertaker.
And if you want to hear more about The Undertaker, that's episode 171 of Hardest Part of the Ring. It's a good one. I would say, in fact, go back and listen to all 11 volumes of The Undertaking, because it makes good back-to-back-to-back listening, right?
They are good. I need to catch up on those matches because Goldust appears, and I'm like, prime Goldust, so I'm eager to see that.
It's one of the most exciting episodes of The Undertaking we've had to date.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But this is not The Undertaking. This is AEW's.
That's whoa. I thought we had a rule. Like our brand guideline says we do not refer to it as AEWs.
Your ongoing tirade and hatred of the letter W in a world where
I like W. I just don't like the dubs bit.
Dubs.
Okay. Where do you land on this, Brett?
Oh, do you know what? I think I'm on the fence because while I do hate how dubs sounds and I prefer W, it's just so much easier to say, isn't it? Dubs.
I quite like it. AEWs. It's just
so I'm with the
tongue.
I'm with the ease of saying.
To be honest, I feel like we can go a step further and start going dub-dub-e.
WWE. Let's face it. I think every time we try and say WWE, we fuck it up.
Exactly. Just like all of our facts and all of our reviews, we don't aim for accuracy, we aim for fun. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Looking for fear factor, that package pile driver on the apron. Penta, oh no! He nailed it! And Omega's down, and he might be out!
AEW Revolution. Sorry, I didn't actually say it. I'm Sam, by the way, just in case people don't recognise it's cheeky Chappie's voice. AEW Revolution 2022, taking place at the Additional Finance Arena or the Addition Financial Arena?
It's catchy either way, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lame sponsorship.
Pretty bad,
It feels like it's been sponsored by just like a really small local accounting firm.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was reading it and I was like, Additional Finance, like did someone fill the form out wrong, like kind of to sponsor this you need to have, and then they wrote Additional Finance and that's kind of how they got the name or something. Or
maybe like it was named after like a company that has since gone bust and that's a liquidation firm that has now taken it over.
Nice. There's a lot of things that you could name a stadium and Additional Finance is the absolute worst one.
Yeah.
That's in Orlando, Florida. Comms team, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, good old JR, and a little cameo from Taz.
Classic.
It's a good combo. I think AEW commentary is just fantastic, apart from the occasional slip-up from JR being lost at sea.
Yeah.
I'd also say, as much as I really love Taz on commentary, but because he's kind of there as the manager of his little stable, he's almost like too impartial when he's commentating.
Oh, no, I disagree. That gives me Bobby the Brain Heenan vibes. Like, wait, too impartial or too...
Yeah.
What's the opposite of impartial?
He's not behind
biased.
his guys enough.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I quite like Taz's commentary. I think
me too.
Me too. He's got good move knowledge and he likes to take the piss out of wrestling mistakes. He's always laugh on dark. But yeah, so we'll go to the card. Brett, no one watched the buy-in, right?
Nope. No, I'm regretting it now though.
There's some good matches on there. Like
Looking at it, yeah. Seeing as we didn't, I'll try to do the results in this as well. So start off, we had Layla Hirsch defeating Chris Statlander. Then we had Hook defeating QT Marshall. Is he on a bit of a Goldberg run?
He's 4-0, I think.
4-0, keeping it. And then we had House of Black defeating Death Triangle.
So, Death Triangle is a bit of an interesting one because that's Penta Obscura, which I don't know the background behind El Miedo Zero and Obscura.
Is that the one he used in... Oh, God, what was that one? Lucha Underground.
I would assume so. This is like dirty little secret, Tom. I've never watched Lucha Underground.
Oh my God, it was. I used to watch it on the train when I was coming back from work.
Me either.
It is. It was. I think it was one of my favorite wrestling programs. The way it was shot.
It's like what, brilliant. 3 seasons, isn't it? Maybe at some point we'll just do like a hardest part of the ring watches and just kind of.
It's pretty hard to find, I reckon, these days. Actually,
is it not all on Netflix?
No, I think it might be on American Netflix. Maybe it's.
Oh, we got ways. We have ways of getting around that.
If you haven't watched it, it's definitely really good.
Okay.
Anyway, should we move on?
No, we're talking about Lucha Underground. Come on, I've got another 10 minutes.
Sorry, go on, Brett, go.
Now let's move on to the main card. We had Jericho versus Eddie Kingston, Redragon versus the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express for the tag titles. We have Face of the Revolution ladder match, Keith Lee versus Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Absolute Ricky Starks versus Christian Cage and Wardlow. We follow that with Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti for the TBS title. I mean, I didn't even know there was a TBS title. That's how up to date I am.
Nice.
We've got CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match. We have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's title. And we had AHFO. What was that?
That's the Andrade Hardy Family Office.
Okay.
Catchy.
Which is Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara. And then to top it all off, we have Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. And I'm missing a match in there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Which one have we missed?
Bryan Danielson versus John
Oh
Moxley.
my God.
Whoa.
How have you missed that match?
Do you know what?
I talking about that before you joined as well.
I purposely put mistakes into the running order just to make sure you guys are reading it properly.
Just to throw us off, yeah.
Just to check. Yeah, there was also John Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. So...
What a mistake to make.
I know, right? Key matches we're going to be discussing. CM Punk versus MJF, Dr. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, and then the AEW World Championship, Hangman Adam Page versus... Not Hangman Adam Cole. I'm not Adam, guys. Forgive me.
The kids are in charge today.
Yeah.
They are. Lunatics are running the asylum. Let's jump straight into it with CM Punk versus MJF. John, what do you think?
This match was maybe one of the most brutal matches I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. It's bloody. Very bloody.
I think...
Second bloodiest match I've seen in AEW, I would say.
Do you reckon I reckon this is more bloody than Goldust's?
No, get out.
No. That was like a river of blood in that match.
They were swimming in it.
This was getting close to that, but not quite as bloody.
Yeah, CM Punk chose the worst possible match to bring back the white shorts.
Oh no, he chose the best possible match. In fact, shall we go back to the entrance itself? CM Punk pulling back the original Ring of Honor entrance, the AFI entrance. What's the song called? Oh, so good.
It's got
Misery Cantera.
Yeah,
that's the one. Man, I was listening to that earlier. It's a tune, that.
Yeah, I love that album.
I didn't realise it was his old entrance until they mentioned it on comms, if I'm honest.
It's a really nice... I think kind of this is the thing with CM Punk, is he's always like thinking back about his fans, like kind of not just like who's the newest fans to him, but like the ones who have followed his career from the very beginning. And this whole feud seemed to have quite a lot of kind of obviously backwards references to how he inspired MJF and kind of all of that backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it's probably worth mentioning the build up to this match, because I feel you can't really talk about this match without the build. And like this feud for me has been one of the best I can remember. Like, it's been so incredible. Like the promos, like the promo MJF did a few weeks ago.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible. The little Jew boy one.
Yeah, one of the best promos I think I've ever seen. It's just phenomenal. Really stuff.
Worth checking out. Did you see any of this, Brett? Like building up to it?
No.
Go back and watch it.
I feel like my overall watching experience of this pay-per-view was hampered by not being up to date.
I think kind of that's almost unfortunate, because I think kind of this has been the feud for CM Punk and for MJF. Like, I think MJF was already putting himself on the map with his most recent kind of feud with Darby. But this has been next level, and the payoff was just fantastic.
I'd also say it's the only match on the card which would benefit from that sort of knowledge of the build. I don't think the rest of the matches you necessarily need it.
Yeah, that's a fair shout.
It was still a great match though.
Oh my god,
coming into it, and I was a little worried. I was like, oh, dog collar match. Oh,
yeah.
You know, what these real gimmick matches, I'm like, not sure, but
dog collar match is kind of erotic. Is that me? I don't know.
Well,
is there a problem that I need to be worried about here?
They do have similarities. Like when I make love to my wife, it does involve collars, chains, and a lot of blood. So
cool. Okay, not just me.
There is something. Obviously, dog collar matches are quite a special thing. Like the stipulations go, I've barely seen any of them.
Mm. Yeah, they're very few and far between, aren't they?
They sort of lend themselves to that sort of more old school style as well, like because you can't really do loads of flippy stuff or really fast phonetic stuff. It's all very sort of just punching the shit out of each other and whipping each other with chains.
Yeah. It is a lot of just wrap a chain around something and then use that something as a weapon.
Yeah, and it needs to be quite bloody as well. So I think that certainly paid off in this match.
Really loved the bit where I think it was just after CM Punk was gushing with blood and MJF got the mic.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Where he just put, and then CM Punk just grabbed the mic and said, eat shit, Max. I thought that was so cool.
This whole match was just, it was one of the best matches of the night, I think. I really, really enjoyed a lot of this. I think kind of adding the tax to the ring is always a positive. I really enjoy kind of whenever that happens. CM Punk ended up with like 90% of those in his butt as well.
Yeah.
Fair play to the guy.
Also, fair play to him for putting himself through this. Like, he's come back, he's a legend. Match. He's one of the biggest names in wrestling. He doesn't need to do this sort of match if he doesn't want to, right?
No, but he probably misses, the pain of UFC, so...
I mean, this is easily his best match back since he's returned.
I think their match on Dynamite was better than this.
Oh, really?
I do.
Oh, that's interesting. I really love this match. I love the story of CM Punk kind of getting his knee injured. And
those shiny wizards with the chain wrapped around it was... Oh.
Yeah, and also the ending of this with Wardlow, I think kind of that was a fantastic... kind of turn for him.
Yeah, and he did that really well. The way he acted that Wardlow, it just looked so cool when he was doing it and so natural, actually.
He's really coming along at the moment, isn't he?
He's hot stuff. He really is.
Yeah, they're definitely going to push him. I mean, yeah. I'm not sold on Wardlow totally. I don't think he's like just a big guy and no good, but I'm not Adam. I don't love the big guys.
I'm with you, Brett. I'm still a little bit on the fence of Wardlow.
The problem I have with Wardlow, because I like his look and I like his personality, what I don't like is that I haven't really seen him in a match yet, which has been like, what's he got going on here? It's kind of 90% squashes with just kind of come out, powerbomb, done. And
there's too many big guys in AEW now to get away with squash matches.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that a lot in the ladder match, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lot of big guys in it.
Giants.
So, yeah, ultimately, CM Punk picks up the 3 count. A big shout out as well to Paul Turner, who was I think it was Paul Turner as the ref. He ran down to that ring and he smacked the canvas for 3, except there were tacks absolutely everywhere. Which was a fun moment. But yeah, really, really great match. Lovely ending as well, with MJF spitting in his face and kind of eating the diamond ring for his troubles. Just the last thing to point out though is kind of obviously CM Punk up the turnbuckle starts signaling for the belt.
That kind of makes sense to me. Like, I feel like he's done his dues. He deserves a title shot, surely.
Does he deserve a title run?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been so impressed with him coming back, actually, because I always get a bit concerned about these sort of like slightly nostalgia acts. Like, especially someone with CM Punk who had so much like baggage and history coming into it. But, oh my God, he's been great. He's been so good.
I mean, CM Punk has still got one last big run in him, hasn't he? He's 42, so...
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think he does. And yeah, there was definitely a worry, like, because so much time off and then doing the fighting business, you just didn't think... I mean, I certainly thought he would be enthused from a creative standpoint, because AEW seems to be quite good with allowing the wrestlers to get creative.
Sure.
And you know, book matches, or like not book results, but book matches, you know, how they sort of see it going. So it's fun for him again. And
so what do you think's next for MJF? Big old feud with the War Dog?
Yeah, I guess that's the next step for him. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Fair.
Also, like, big tops for MJF. Like, I think he's made himself one of the biggest wrestlers in the world over the last few months.
Legitimately, like, more than CM Punk, more than I think anyone else in the company, he is the future champion.
Yeah, his in-ring stuff is rapidly catching up with his mic skills. I'm almost his mic stuff is so, like, he is so good and so smooth on the mic, but I'm almost getting bored of him on the mic, because it's you know what you're getting.
I think this is a problem with MJF, is that kind of, I say the problem is he's too good. Like, that's not a fair criticism.
It's like we all suffer from, guys. Come on, we can relate to that.
I mean, the reality is that kind of CM Punk could keep up with him on the mic, which is great. Most people can't keep up with him on the mic, and it kind of just... Sometimes it comes across just kind of like, all right, we get it, you're the best at this, come on, let's get on with it.
Yeah, then it just ends up like a load of monologues and not a back and forth.
I would really like it. I would really like to see him just kind of get really flustered against Wardlow, just kind of like Wardlow not taking any of his crap, just basically can't talk down the big guy, he's just going to powerbomb you.
Yeah, it'd be a big test of that for Wardlow, going up against MJF, like, promo-wise, whether he can...
Exactly.
And even in the ring, like, it'd be a big test. Be a big feud for both people, that I think.
I mean, the other thing is that kind of MJF surely is got to be in the title picture at some point in the immediate future as well. Like, he is a step above a lot of the kind of talent on the roster.
It makes sense if you want someone to take it off Hangman, right? You want a heel to go against Hangman rather than babyface Punk. And you can't turn Punk heel at the moment, can you? Oh
God, absolutely not. Cool. Well, CM Punk MJF, good match overall, really good. We'll move on to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Thunder Rosa, a pod favourite, for the AEW Women's World Championship. Yeah, there's a new Women's World Championship as well, the third design they've had. I think.
Did you have a look at the belt? It looks really nice.
It's really cool. They've got they've engraved a lot of key art from like when Riho won it and when Dr. Britt Baker won it onto the actual belt itself. It looks amazing.
Looks nice.
But yeah, it was funny actually, because I'm sure that JR was asking about, is the belt new? And they were just saying no.
Yeah, he was saying, yeah.
he said that on the main one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, on the
was
Hangman.
that when he did it?
Yeah,
shiny new belt.
Poor JR. I love you, JR, but sometimes you're a bit lost at sea. This is an interesting match. Did it live up to what you guys were expecting from Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa? Did the right person win?
I don't know. I had high hopes for this match because I bloody loved their Lights Out match from last year. This, for me, didn't really hit those heights. It was in a rough spot because it was obviously right after the CM Punk match, which was, exhausting to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was a fine match. It was good. There's some good moments in it, like a pendulum suplex. I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Baker always wins with her cronies getting involved. It's just getting a bit tiresome.
I think
It's like the Adam Cole effect, isn't it? It's like his booking of his matches too. I did enjoy this match though. I thought I've not seen, hands up, I've not seen loads of Thunder Rosa, but I think she's awesome.
Yeah, she's so
Thunder
good.
Rosa is
Yeah, she's so
cool.
smooth. I like one of my beefs. I think I was going to say about the pay-per-view all in all, like not with some of the bigger matches, but like I find sometimes with AEW you've got a lot of people trying a lot of fun stuff. I'm almost going to sound like Adam now, like a lot of the spots, but no, and I love spots when they're done smoothly and they're not really telegraphed and therefore clunky, like something can be big or like really intricate, but it has to be pulled off, and a lot of the time it doesn't. And I sort of give the wrestlers kudos for trying a lot of stuff, but also like make sure you can nail it before you do it in front of a massive audience, on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But Thunder Rosa didn't fall into that category. She's like smooth, legit. She's there, whereas a lot of the other women talent aren't quite there. I mean, the ones that are like Riho and stuff don't really get. I mean, is she still around?
I don't know what's happened to Rio. She was
like
for ages.
Like she's was one of the ones that they had. That I know she's very small, very lightweight, but she had that ability. Whereas a lot of the others, like in the Tay Conti and stuff, like there's bits that is like they're good, they're getting much better, but there's bits that are clunky. And in the men's matches as well, it happens.
Yeah, I think kind of, if I'm completely honest, like I think the match itself was absolutely fine. I don't think it was kind of anything special, but at the same time, like it was a quality match with kind of a through line that sort of worked out.
Yeah,
with the cronies getting involved and all of that. I think the biggest problem I have is that no one is booked to be a credible challenger to Britt Baker at the moment, and so it's kind of like she's a good enough wrestler as it is. That plus 2 henchmen just make it feel as if like you're never gonna get a victory without it being an absolute shock. I think Thunder Rosa really should have won this match.
Yeah. Do you think that's like because they don't know what they're doing with their women's division totally? Like they don't feel like they've got enough top prospects, or
I don't know, because I think they are building some good stuff here. Like, we've just seen the back of a Chris Statlander Layla Hirsch feud, which has ended up with Layla Hirsch ending up top contender. You've kind of got the stuff with the TBS title going on with Jade Cargill, Tay Conte, and we can kind of come back to that a bit later. But on top of that as well, like, you can't really sleep on the AEW women's division anymore. They have got some good wrestlers in there with like Ruby Riott, and even Nyla Rose has come on like leaps and bounds. Not to mention Shida and Rio.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good wrestlers there, and yeah, it's not as good as WWE's women's division, but it's good enough to be better than what I think it's currently doing. And I feel like the problem is that there's just not enough storyline time for them at the moment.
No.
That's where I think it's falling down.
Getting that second belt's a good idea though, because it does give them, easy stories. Like you can have another feud which has some meaning to it because they're fighting for a belt.
Yeah, for sure. I just I think at the moment there's no credible challenger for Britt Baker. Like I'm pretty sure she gets the most microphone time out of every woman on the roster as well. She's the only one who seems to get kind of like segments in the ring with Tony Schiavone basically going on about how great she is, and it's like you're kind of straying into John Cena territory here. You sort of we need a credible challenger, and
I get
they've got them.
Yeah, well, I guess like Thunder Rosa is definitely a credible challenger.
Yeah.
Probably should, like you say, have gone over. So I guess the cronies getting involved is is her saving grace in this, that she hasn't been beat fair and square.
I mean, I suppose that's kind of it, is that this is not the end of this feud, is it? Like, this is going to end up in a cage match or something like that.
Yeah. To be fair, this is the biggest feud they have in the women's roster, right? Thunder Rosa for Britt Baker. They probably want to eke it out a bit longer.
It is, but at the same time, like, kind of recently, Britt Baker has been kind of like smashing through contenders for the title. You know, Riho was the biggest contender for the title just before Thunder Rosa, and it's a little bit just like, I don't know, you need to keep the fire going here, to be honest. You can't just kind of keep bringing pretenders to the throne, have them beaten in a one match, and then move on to the next.
Yeah. You need feuds. You need lots of feuds. Like, don't just go contender, go feud.
Absolutely. Like I said, this isn't a bad match by any stretch.
No, it was solid. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, don't think it was the right result. One last thing. I'm sure Thunder Rosa had a tattoo on her thigh which looked like it's wrapped around to her bum cheek. Do people get tattoos on their bum cheeks? Is that
absolutely?
A thing?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering whether that was coming up because I saw that in the running order notes, and I was just like,
I make good notes. That's my one note from AEW Revolution is I think Thunder Rosa has a bum cheek tattoo.
It'd be quite hard. You'd have to have ideally quite a muscular bum. Otherwise, it's going to be.
Say if you're a wrestler, you probably have a muscular bum.
Otherwise, the tattooist is going to have to do a lot of work to sort of stretch it.
Unless you're Yoko or Rikishi.
Yeah, I was going to say there is forms for some very.
But even then, like,
bums.
There's a lot of canvas to work with there, isn't there? So, bum cheek tattoos. Shall we move on to the main event?
The main event.
The main event. It's Adam v Adam, not our Adam. Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW Men's Champion. I was about to say Women's Championship. Brett, do you want to kick us off with this? What did you think?
I'll kick us off. I thought I bloody well loved Hangman Adam Page's ring gear. I loved the rainbow tassels. I loved that he's bringing tassels back. I love the cacti down the sides with the jewels. I thought he looked the business.
So there's a couple of things to that. The first is that I read that this was a response to Florida's recent don't say gay legislation, which is Hangman coming out being just the best man ever. But then also in Being the Elite most recently, they had a bit of a reference to it with kind of some ring crew mistaking his jacket for the Young Bucks and the Young Bucks gear and stuff like that. It's interesting.
But yeah, that's nice.
There's stuff going on there. But yeah, man, Hangman's gear, good gear.
Stuff going on. So I thought this was a really good match. So I'm gonna like nitpick it a little, but I did really enjoy this match. So don't get me wrong here. I like we were saying earlier, I'm a bit bored of Adam Cole.
Oh,
I'm a bit bored of his cronies getting involved. Like,
yeah, okay.
We've seen it like, you know, a million times in WWE already or in NXT, and now we're seeing the same thing on AEW. I guess it's going to happen. It's a given. But I mean, I love Hangman Adam Page, and this was a really good match. I had a beef with the video things because they don't do enough instant replays.
They don't do enough replays in AEW.
No, why don't they do it? Like, because they hit so many like big moves, and you don't need to stop the current action or distract. There's always enough pause for them to hit the instant replay. Just do it, production team. But yeah, I mean, I love a lariat and I love a buckshot lariat.
I really, really love this match a lot, actually. I think kind of the two styles really clashed nicely with kind of Adam Cole's much kind of quicker paced kind of super kicks and sort of his style, as opposed to Hangman really being a bruiser. And I think kind of this match in particular really sold Hangman for the champion that he is. Like, kind of every single one of his lariats looked hugely impactful.
Yeah, crunching.
And Cole is a great seller, so
Yeah, he sold it great.
I think he's a bit underrated, Hangman Adam Page. God, that was hard to say for some reason. Like in ring style, I just think he's not really considered as like one of the top guys. I don't think, like in the conversations. You know, he's up. Not people won't say he's up there with like Kenny Omega or CM Punk.
Do you know what?
I think he is
thinking about
he's
this.
so good.
I was thinking about this the other day because, like, realistically, despite being the champion, he's not the top guy in the company. Like, people would
by
still
a good number of people.
No,
I would say
like,
as well.
People would consider Bryan Danielson better. People would consider Kenny better.
Yeah.
People would consider CM Punk better. But I think
Mox,
kind of
maybe.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like every single one of these guys, you put them in a feud with Hangman, and you would say Hangman's coming out second best there. And yeah, at the same time, he's seen off Omega, he's seen off Danielson, and now he's seen off Cole, who had a sizable win streak behind him. And I think they're really doing good by Hangman Adam Page at the moment. They are, he's not the most respected wrestler as far as wrestling goes, but he is the champ, and they are giving him a champion's run so far.
And he's having great matches.
He really is, yeah.
There's not like poor matches happening in this, so it's well deserved. And I was pleased. I was worried that like he was, there was going to be a long build up to him getting champ, like because it looked like they were keen on him being a top guy very early on, but then thought, oh, maybe it will be like he'll get there and then he'll drop it because someone always has to be the underdog sort of thing. But no, he's great.
He is an underdog champion, but I think he's really doing the business at the moment. His promo work is on point, his ring gear is amazing, his wrestling is excellent. It's just kind of, for me, it's the complete package. He's saying all the right things, doing all the right stuff. And I think kind of, even coming out of this match, there's some interesting bits and pieces to kind of look at in the future with kind of him pushing away Alex Reynolds, and maybe kind of, that's interesting to see what happens with the Dark Order there, because quite honestly, the Dark Order are shit at the moment. They're floundering.
Also, every time Hangman gets attacked, it takes the Dark Order absolutely ages to get out there to save him.
I was thinking that because I was thinking like, have I missed some like split there where the Dark Order are no longer about? Because like Red Dragon, Redragon, however you say their name,
Red Dragon,
they were interfering loads, and like
takes them ages.
And Hangman was just like, suffering. And then I was like, what's going on? And then finally they came out.
I'm a little bit sad with Dark Order at the moment because they are so lovable on being the Elite. They're a really fun faction.
Yeah, they're entertaining.
They are an absolute joke in the wrestling side of things at the moment. They're just kind of a series of jobbers. And they shouldn't be. They're better than that.
But they do look like jobbers.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole ring gear is jobber, right?
I suppose.
Maybe they'll just be like a faction for sale. Whatever wrestler needs a stable behind him.
I actually think a heel Dark Order would be a nice move, but anyway, I mean, ultimately it is what it is. The actual match itself was really enjoyable. Yeah,
solid, really good match. I mean, just picking up on what Brett was saying, I love Adam Cole's matches. Like some of the counters he does into backbreakers, like when he super kicks Hangman in midair, that all looks so good. But you're completely right, Brett. It's the same character we've already seen in WWE. Exactly the same character with the cronies. Exactly the same cronies. 100%. I hadn't really thought about that before. It is exactly.
I think some of our favourite people like swap between heel and face, and like, I mean, look at all the versions of Bryan Danielson. Like we've seen, like, I guess it's that Madonna effect, isn't it? Like keep changing, keep people interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose kind of like the question being, where do these guys go next? Because like, for me, the feud is over. And I think kind of like, you've probably got a CM Punk, Hangman Adam Page. I keep wanting to say Hangman Adam Cole. Hangman Page versus CM Punk kind of feud, or like whoever wins the Owen Hart tournament coming up. But Adam Cole?
I don't know, because it feels like Red Dragon are going to be feuding with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Is there room for trio in that?
It depends if Young Bucks align themselves with Hangman.
Yeah. I'd really like to see Adam Cole split from Red Dragon and do something else.
I think that would be good for Red Dragon as well, though, because, like, you know, amazing tag team. Like, they don't need, you know, I've forgotten his name now. Kyle O'Reilly. Like, super entertaining guy when he's given a chance.
The problem with Red Dragon is that one half of the tag team, I think, is much better and much more highly regarded than the other half.
Bobby Fish is good.
I like Bobby Fish. I think he's a good wrestler. Do I think he's a good singles wrestler who's going to make any kind of waves?
I mean, he's a good singles wrestler. He's probably
in like a mid-card kind of way.
Yeah, but that's okay in a tag team. You need a straight man.
Is he holding Kyle O'Reilly back?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there really is like a big singles push for Kyle O'Reilly. So
it's difficult. I don't know if I'm feeling it with Undisputed Era being back, just as Red Dragon and Cole.
No.
No.
Well, this is the thing.
Bad. It's just that we've seen it.
Yeah, and like we want these people, you know, to flourish in AEW rather than be hampered in WWE. But actually, we want to see something different from them.
I think realistically, Red Dragon, whatever we're calling it, they'd be good shouts for a run with the title belts.
Yeah,
with the tag titles.
I think so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that's on the cards.
But that's the thing is that kind of I think they'd be better off as tag title without Adam Cole.
Yeah,
like kind of
totally agree.
Part of a faction.
Yeah, totally agree.
Right, let's move on to Best of the Rest. A lot of matches to choose from here.
It's going to be hard.
It's one for me.
Go on, Brett, you start.
Match. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. I fucking loved this match. Two guys that just loved taking lumps out of each other. Everything looked like it hit.
I think it did.
It hit heavy, and I realised, you know, maybe the older I get, the more I like just seeing wrestlers take lumps out of each other. Because I love this match. This was by far my match of the night.
Same here.
Yeah, absolute same. I think kind of all of us agree that match just absolutely slapped.
That headlock when he was like bridging up on like Bryan Danielson, I was just like, it looked so good. It looked so brutal. So much in this match looked brutal, but yeah.
There was even a back rake that looked legitimately mean.
Yeah. And when Bryan Danielson, I was so annoying saying it that way around. when Danielson was punching him in the face, like on the nose near the end, the camera was close up, and he was like, you know, hitting him across the bridge, like in the eye socket. I was just like, man, these guys, they just they gave each other the okay to go for it.
I absolutely adore this match because I feel like I just saw Minoru Suzuki fight Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, it really did feel very Japanese, actually. It's just how stiff it was.
Super Japanese. I mean, we were saying before the pod, weren't we, John, how much you want to see him fight Okada.
I just need to see Danielson versus Okada. Before Danielson retires, it just needs to happen. As wrestling fans in the world, we just need to come together and make that happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I am so grateful I got to see just this match. I absolutely love Jon Moxley, and Bryan Danielson continues to be, in my opinion, the best wrestler in the world.
Absolutely. I wasn't even that jazzed about this match when I saw it on the card. I was like, okay, that'd be a fine match. But I mean, the build into it was fine. I wasn't really 100% into it. But this match,
I like the build.
This is the first match in a while that's really made me sit up and absolutely love wrestling again.
Yeah,
because I've been even watching really, really good matches. I've just been sort of in a haze through watching it. But this one, I was just like, I love it. Give me more.
It's really hard not to love heel Danielson. How just kind of arrogant he is, and how much he deserves to be arrogant as well, because it's like, you are the best. So
were they teasing putting these two together?
okay, so the build
Is
up
that for real?
for this,
Because
yeah,
I'm all
right.
for them just beating the shit out of everyone in the AEW roster.
So here's the thing: Danielson came out to the ring a few weeks ago, and he tells Moxley, "I wanted to fight you, but then I've had a better idea. We could run this place. We could take on young talent and teach them how to be violent." And since then, Danielson's basically been beating the shit out of like young prospects and kicking their head in, and then getting the microphone, asking and going like, "Was this guy violent enough?" Which is just like, oh man, there's some good teasing here. And the idea of like Moxley and Danielson starting a faction of like young lions.
Yeah.
I mean, that is something that I really want to watch. And not to mention, for me, the moment of the night, the ending.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I popped
Oh,
so hard for this.
I was so jazzed for
God.
that.
So just to recap, for anyone who hasn't seen it, first of all, you should see it before listening to our podcast. But anyway, Moxley gets the pin on Danielson. Two men stare each other down. Danielson kicking off with the ref, not happy with the pinfall.
Well, I thought, to be fair, during the pin, I wasn't sure who was counting. It felt like both guys' shoulders were down.
Yeah.
I disagree. I thought, the ref should have broken it up because Moxley's legs fell on the ropes first. But what I loved about it was Danielson was proper pissed and just kicks Moxley clean in the head. And the two start going at it. And then, debut among debuts, how WWE let this man go. William Regal comes out to the ring, and oh my God, he is a fantastic, threatening man, William Regal.
You forget how big he is when he's standing next. He's a big guy.
Huge, yeah. I think you don't get a stronger debut than getting a guy in the ring who can just stand there, slap John Moxley, slap Danielson, and both of them look like told off school children. These are two like 40-year-old, 20-year veterans.
And they were some slaps as well. They'd just gone through all of that, and then they really both had their clocks cleaned. It was
just absolutely incredible.
He also went head to head with Moxley, didn't he? Because he had loads of blood all down his face.
He did. William Regal is just a king among kings, and honestly, WWE are mad as heck to get rid of him, because him heading up some sort of like Young Lions faction in AEW is absolute money.
Yeah, it's just you kind of think the value he gives you, not only as an on-screen presence, but just behind the scenes, talking to other wrestlers, getting like talent relations, scouting, all of that stuff.
William Regal is a wrestler's wrestler, and what a debut, kind of slapping Moxley and Danielson in the face.
Everything about that match was pitch perfect.
It was.
For me, legitimately, that was a 5-star match.
I'd agree,
yeah, totally.
Absolutely love it. Let's move on. There's a lot more to discuss with Best of the Rest. We've already done the best match of the night. I think kind of all of us agree. But John, what was your second favourite?
So on my notes, the match that I wrote, this match in big capital letters, was actually a match that took me by surprise, and it was the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, Jurassic Express.
Did this surprise you that it was good?
Yeah, because I kind of thought that this would kind of be more like a Dynamite match. I thought the main thrust of this match would be the Young Bucks and Red Dragon sort of feuding and just set up that feud rather than sort of be a decent match in its own right. But it took me away by surprise because I fucking loved it. I had a massive smile on my face the whole way through. And what I really loved particularly is that it started out as a tag match with everyone behind the ropes, getting tagged in. And then 5 minutes later, it was just all-out carnage. Everyone hitting finishes left, right, and centre. The Luchasaurus just clearing everyone out and jumping all over the place. It was just so much fun and exactly what you want from a Young Bucks match.
I had one real beef with this match, though.
What's that?
Go on.
Getting taken out with a belt and then kicking out of a pin straight afterwards. I'm sorry. I was just like, no, come on. He got floored with that belt. And there wasn't a delay till the pin or anything. It was just like...
Brett, would you have been happy if that was the finish?
Well, probably not, but I'd rather someone come and disrupt the pin rather than kick out of it.
Can we talk about the beautiful Doomsday Machine Jurassic Express pulled off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good. Oh,
that
man.
was.
These guys, like Jurassic Express, obviously, despite being champions, really do come into this as the third wheel of this tag match. And they come and deliver. Like Jungle Boy every single time is always bringing his A game. And I think Luchasaurus is underrated.
Oh, totally. Luchasaurus is well underrated. I was surprised actually at how normal sized Jungle Boy is.
Yeah.
Seeing him against Red Dragon and seeing obviously against the Young Bucks. I know the Young Bucks aren't big, but I was just like, I always thought you were much smaller.
I mean, they mentioned it on comms that he has bulked up quite a bit recently.
Even so, though, I thought height-wise, I don't know. Like, I didn't think he was Marco Stunt, but
Yeah.
I didn't get them confused. But I was just like, I don't know. It's hard to tell people's height sometimes, isn't it? And plus, when you're always stood next to Luchasaurus, you're going to look small. Well, I had one other beef. I did love this match. My one other beef is like, if he's a Jungle Boy, I want to see him in his, jungle gear. And if he's a dinosaur, I want to see him looking like a dinosaur. I don't like this black and gold generic wrestling gear.
You're a hard man to please, Mr. Jones.
You got it. Like, well, it's just like, when they do this stuff you got your gimmick and everything, do an elaborate loincloth if that's what you want to do. Tiger loincloth or something, but don't go just black and gold generic gear.
I'm glad I can watch Jurassic Express and not think, when is Vince going to split these two up and push the big man? That's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
He's so big as well. He's gigantic.
But it doesn't stop him doing a backflip just randomly.
Unbelievable. What about you, Sam? What's your best of the rest?
My best of the rest. I mean, a lot of the stuff has been mentioned so far, but I do want to give a small shout out to Jericho versus Kingston, which I think, what a match that was. I think kind of that was one of Jericho's best matches I've seen in a long time. He's really kind of gotten himself in shape for that.
He looks amazing recently, Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, he's lost a ton of timber.
And even more so, Eddie Kingston getting the win there. That man deserved this win more than anything.
Yep.
Really good match.
Oh.
Yeah.
Again, I guess that looked quite hard hitting as well.
It did, yeah. That was a stiff match.
The thing is that I think kind of Eddie Kingston has been given the short stick a lot of times in recent months, especially kind of in pay-per-views. He's never really had his moment. And I don't want to be like, competition winner, Eddie Kingston gets a big win. I want this to be the beginning of a pretty monstrous run for him. Because he deserves it. He's a good wrestler.
And he's another... Yeah, and he's another monster on the microphone as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. I honestly kind of...
Another promo machine.
If you had to give me a list of everyone and say, like, pick a number one contender, like, I would want to see Eddie Kingston in a proper feud for the title. I really would.
This is what makes AEW so great, is that they've got
There's
so many people that could challenge for that. And they keep them at this constant level as well, where you feel that at any moment you could slot one of those in and challenge for the main title.
Isn't that just the best thing about AEW? Like, you don't have just like is your name Brock, Goldberg, or Roman?
Yeah.
Good fucking luck making it, mate.
It's good. It just, like, all the guys you root for, you kind of feel like they will get a chance. I know they will get a chance at that title.
I really hope so. I think kind of the reason I want Eddie to get this push is just because he's a bit older, he's a bit more kind of further on in his career, and he's never had the same opportunities. And I just think, man, just come on, let's go, Eddie. I don't know. I love him on the mic. I love him in the ring. Big fan of his. And yeah, I think that match, I wasn't expecting much from it because I didn't know what Jericho would turn up, if I'm honest. And it was Le Champion. So
decent.
Yeah, I was getting worried for Jericho. I haven't seen recent matches, but the stuff I had seen before, I was getting worried that his time was done.
I mean, what I would say is that I don't know if this feud needs to continue, and I'm disappointed that he didn't shake his hand, but as Eddie would say, forget about it.
No, but Jericho looked really spry in this. Like, he looked a lot better. Like, 10 years off him.
It really did. Yeah. So awesome match. That really enjoyable. Let's move on to worst of the rest, because I think there are a few bits and pieces to discuss here. Brett, there's one in particular I know you want to go after.
Who do I want to go after?
Do you want to?
Oh, what that
AHFO
trios match? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I didn't watch all of this match. I didn't have time. It was. I had to skip to the end, and then I went back to Moxley versus, and then I sort of tried to catch up on this one, but to be honest, I was not interested anyway. All these extra people that I didn't, don't really care much for.
Yeah, I also thought this match could have been on TV, and then there was two absolutely bonkers spots in it. I was like, oh.
Okay, can I just say, this was some WCW level shit, and I was all there for it, and not like bad WCW. This was good WCW. Sting is a madman.
Sting is a madman. So he went off like a balcony through 3 tables.
Oh, was that stuff that Butcher and Blade were setting up?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw them setting up some tables for a long while.
And then Sammy Guevara did a Spanish fly off like a big thing onto
off a lightning truss through 2 tables.
But nothing else happened in this match. That's all I remember.
No, I mean, the thing is that the match opens with another weird art house video segment of Sting and Darby Allin possibly killing their opponents, which feels like an overreaction. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but I'm getting a bit sick of the Darby Allin art house movies before every match.
Oh, I don't mind them.
I don't know.
All I could think of was like, why did they partner Andrade with like Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy? And I was just thinking, like, I was thinking of the wrestlers that I didn't know were on the buy-in. I was just like, there's all this talent. Why these guys at this? I don't know.
They've got some weird stuff going on with the AHFO at the moment.
And why Sammy Guevara with Darby Allin and Sting? Like, I must have missed something, but he doesn't fit with those two guys.
It's
like Survivor Series, but when they stopped having people that actually matched up with each other, they just, you're on the same brand.
Quite a thrown together match, wasn't it? I think kind of the thing is that they're sort of treading water until Jeff joins AEW.
I do not want to see a Hardy Boys run. I really don't.
No, I'm all for Matt Hardy being a bonkers manager, doing his crazy, stuff, but I don't want to see him wrestle.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
But
let's move on.
Sting is 62 years old and went off a balcony through 3 tables.
Now, I don't want to take anything away from Sting jumping off a balcony through 3 tables, but I think I could do that. Like, because surely that's like a 4-foot drop, and then like another 4-foot drop, and then another 4-foot drop.
Yeah, but
62.
Yeah, stuff doesn't.
He's 6
recover.
years off getting his pension.
Stuff, yeah. The older you get, the less recovery you have.
Okay.
All right.
Mad
and the more brittle
Sting.
you get. Like,
how old are your parents, Sam?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine my dad pulling that off. But my dad isn't Sting.
It's outrageous he did that. I mean, he looked like absolute shit when they were celebrating the ring afterwards.
Do you know what I love about Sting? His no selling. He's such a madman.
He's been so good in AEW.
They use Sting really well.
Yeah, and fair play to him. Like, that is, he should not be doing that.
No, John, you're worst of the rest.
I just think, especially with the pre-show stuff, too long. Too long.
Oh god,
too many matches.
It was 4 hours long. There was no let up either, was there? It was all go.
Like, all the matches were really solid. So it just felt quite exhausting by the end of it, and I think the crowd felt pretty exhausted as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about you, Sam?
So I don't want to be too harsh on this because I feel like it's good that they're putting more women's matches in there, but I don't think Jade Cargill Take On To was a very good match.
No.
It was a little bit rough around the edges, I'd say. I'd say Cargill. She's got a great look. Holy shit!
She's got a great look, but I don't think she's a good wrestler yet.
She's getting there though.
And I think that was the point I was saying. Like, there's some stuff that some matches where they're doing bits that they're not quite polished enough to do yet, and then it just starts looking telegraphed and clunky, and that was. I mean, it wasn't. There was talking about experience though. The guys in the ladder match were experienced, but there was moments in that was same. It was like so laboured and telegraphed, and then it just clunky, and I was like, oh, you guys should be better than this.
There's one other thing I wanted to say with Worst of the Rest, and that is this ladder match, because I think this is a good match overall. I don't want to shit on it too much. I personally think the Face of the Revolution ladder match should be for up and coming talent, and I don't think Christian Cage has a place in that match, and I don't like Christian Cage that match.
Oh, I thought you were a bit of a Christian guy.
I'm a Christian guy. I love Christian Cage.
Impact Days.
I'm an anti-Christian.
The instant classic.
Is he good? I don't get it.
I've never got the whole Christian thing.
I really think Christian is a kind of, you fall into two camps with him. You're either like, no, he's really good, he was held back by Edge, or you think he was the Mighty Jannetty of that tag team. And for me,
I'm definitely the former. I've always preferred Christian. I mean, I preferred Christian once he moved to TNA, because the Captain Charisma in the Instant Classic was just, he was an awesome champion and put on great matches. I didn't like the whole look pre that, you know. I've
never got Christian. I've watched him wrestle for 20 years and I just don't get it.
He looks a bit like an imposter, I always think, when I watch him wrestle.
I don't know, difficult one. But anyway, the match itself was decent enough. I love the fact that Keith Lee basically chucked Orange Cassidy out of existence.
Yeah, that bit was cool. They're doing good stuff with they're booking Keith Lee how you want them to book Keith Lee.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I mean, it's Worst of the Rest, and I do want to say that I did enjoy a lot of that ladder match. I'm really sad that the final spot didn't go to plan. With the power bomb on the ladder, how that ended up looking.
God, that looked rough.
Why did that? What happened? It looked all right to me.
It was Ricky Starks?
Ricky Starks, was up the ladder.
No, it didn't look.
It didn't look quite right.
No,
I don't know. I think a level of impact or something.
Yeah, it was like he was too over or something. So it looked like his head really clocked. Stuff.
There were actually some wonderful moments in this match. I really enjoyed Orange Cassidy climbing on all the hosses to try and get the...
Yeah, that was cool. Doing that pull-up on the thing as well, like doing the skinning the cat on the ladder.
Yeah, man. He had some good moments. But yeah, I just kind of... I don't know. I just wish Christian Cage wasn't there. But that's harsh. He's not bad. I just think there's so many better wrestlers who could have been in that spot.
I think that's
fair.
So that's it. Any more for any more? We kind of run through everything in some capacity.
Yeah.
No, I think we're ready for Star Performer.
Star Performer. Let's do this, Brett.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Is it Bryan Danielson for being just absolutely brutal, or is it Moxley for taking a lot of that?
Yeah.
Brutality at the end of that match. I'll go for Bryan Danielson.
Very nice. John?
I'm going to go William Regal just because it's great to see him back in work.
Well, this works out perfectly because I'm going to go John Moxley. And we're all just going to agree, go and watch that match. If you don't have 4 hours to watch Revolution 2022, go and watch Bryan Danielson versus John Moxley. It's an absolute barnstormer, an absolute match of the year contender.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Lovely. Let's go to an overall final score. And I'm going to drop mine in first and not be influenced by you two.
Go for it, Sam. What is it?
I'm going for a 9. I thought this was a really good pay-per-view. I don't think one part of it was bad. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's the kind of pay-per-view I could go back and watch again and enjoy it all.
I gave Full Gear 10 apparently.
Fair.
Yeah. Brett, what do you reckon?
I'm going to push it to an 8. I was going to go 7.5, but I'm going to push it to 8 because of the match that we keep talking about. And the rest was good, but that match was just another level. So I've got to push it to an 8.
I am going to go 8.5. I've loved every match pretty much, but it did feel a bit long.
Are you just looking for the easy maths here?
Well, the maths has not worked.
It's 8.5, surely. As we quickly redo some spreadsheet formulas, because that's what we do on Hardest Part of the Ring. It is 8.5, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Equals that. Divided by 3, because there's 3 of us. 8.5.
Yeah, so that gives us 8.5, which is higher than Royal Rumble.
Shocker.
What did we give 4.5 to? Oh, Survivor Series.
Can we just point out, AEW recently have been on fire. Last few AEW pay-per-view scores that we've given them. We had, last year's Revolution was our exploding barbed wire death match, right?
Oh God.
Which was a bit of a disaster. But since then, AEW, 7.5 for Double or Nothing, 9.1 for All Out, 9.1 for Full Gear, 8.5 for Revolution. I mean, those are some gangbusters numbers right there, right?
I mean, they're doing
What
a good
a
job,
year for
aren't they? They're doing good stuff.
AEW. So, absolutely killing it. Especially if you look at our scores for WWE in recent times. Which, yeah. WrestleMania Backlash apparently got 8.5. And then it's been a 3.5 for SummerSlam, 4.5 for Survivor Series, and a 6.3 for Royal Rumble. So, got a lot to prove with WrestleMania, and I'm not feeling too hopeful.
WrestleMania is always going to be long.
Always going to be long.
Always going to be long.
2 bloody nights as well. That'd be good. It'd be good. It's Mania. Come on, guys. We live for Mania.
Sure, John. Sure.
Martinez face off the edge of the ring. That's one of the hardest part of the rings there.
All right. Well, we've given our views on AEW Revolution. Let's go to the listener comments, John.
So it's just listener comment this week. Just the
Singular.
one.
Like it.
So we asked what is the favourite match and why. And Clint McCormack, which I think is a great name. He says, Danielson versus Moxley. Amazingly brutal match. I think it was the least predictable and coincidentally the only one I got wrong. The aftermath was a moment in wrestling.
Little humble brag there.
Absolutely nailed that, though. He is right. It was like, and you look back at AEW, this is going to be like one of those big moments.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. Actually, how do we feel about no titles changing hands at a pay-per-view called Revolution?
I mean, I didn't notice.
No, I didn't notice either, to be honest.
Okay. Right then. Well, that's it. We've talked Revolution. We've waxed lyrical about Danielson, Moxley, and the like. Next podcast, 2 weeks' time. We are currently undecided. Might be a spring quiz.
Oh, I know I want to do the spring quiz, but I need more than 2 weeks to sort it out.
Okay, it might not be a spring quiz. It might be an undertaking. It might be, I don't know, Brett's Film Club. We haven't had one of those for a long time.
Might be able to.
Ooh, exciting. Maybe Hell Comes to Frogtown too.
Did they?
Does that have Hot Rod in?
It'd be They Live.
They Live. Okay,
That's a good
Would
one.
be the next one.
I've not seen it, so maybe Brett's Film Club will make a timely return for us once a year. That'd be quite fun, actually. I'd enjoy that. But if you have any ideas as to what we should do next week or in a couple of weeks' time, how do people get in touch with us, Brett?
They can send their emails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com. They can find us on, Instagram, Twitter, or I'll forget Facebook because we don't use it. We are at Hardest Part Pod, and I have no idea what the Kofi is, so...
Sorry, I just deleted the contact information from the running order to test Brett and
I failed.
didn't go down well. buy us a virtual coffee at ko-fi.com/HPOTR.
There we go. Boom.
And there we are. So that's it. We're done. Any final thoughts? Jerry Springer style?
Oh, good job hosting, Sam.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I'm sorry for messing around with the running order whilst you were reading from it now, Brett.
Yeah. That was a bit mean. A professional wouldn't have done that. But,
Adam certainly wouldn't have done it.
Adam would be telling me off right now, but he's not here to tell me off. So we're going to say goodbye. That's goodbye from me, Sam. Goodbye, Brett.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
And that was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part